Good morning, it's Tuesday today. I've just got back from getting my nail fixed. If you watched my last video, I must have mentioned it when I was in London. This nail broke the first day I got there when I'm doing, just the worst timing. So Steph, the girl who does my nails, she managed to fit me in, which is very kind of her. If you're in the West Cornwall area, highly recommend. Why has my brain gone blank? Rock Envy, that's the name. My name went completely blank. Yeah, they do my nails. Anyway, I nipped into the old forge because it's right next to the old forge and got these little lemon slices and I'm gonna have that. I'm getting the train in a couple of hours. I've woken up with a stinking cold, which is so annoying. Alex also has it. I think I caught it from my niece, because she had a cold the other day and I went round, we were gonna go out and I went round and I was like, oh, I'll stay clear because I didn't give her a cuddle because I was like, I don't want to get a cold before I go to London. And I started playing with her and I think it's because I was playing with her toys and playing with her. I didn't wash my hands. I remember thinking I should wash my hands before I leave just in case, and I didn't. Now I've woken up with a stinking cold. I'm hoping it's gonna be one of those that's like, that just passes. And I feel better tomorrow, fingers crossed, because it's not what I need right now. Worst timing ever. I'm gonna make myself some breakfast. I'm not sure what. It's more like brunch, to be honest with you, because I forgot to have breakfast before I left. I don't know why. So this is gonna be a very much grab everything out of the fridge. Some tomatoes, spinach, leek. I think I'm just gonna fry all of this together, maybe with some beans, and then throw it on some toast. That's my initial idea. I've got pesto. Have I got pesto? Please say we've got pesto. Yes. Charles Kitchen pesto. We've even got a little bit of hummus, you know, that I could throw on top in a dollop. And the fridge is looking pretty empty because I've been away and Alex is making some bread under here, but that won't be ready for me, but there is some bread left over. I'm going to show you what we did in the garden yesterday. It was bank holiday this weekend and we had the most beautiful bank holiday. On Saturday, we sort of relaxed, had a lie-in. What did we do on Saturday? My brain, I need to look at photos. Oh yeah, we went for a walk with Roxy to Godolphin and went to the cafe there and had a lovely lunch, came home and just like chilled out, I think. I tidied up. Maybe I watched some Married at First Sight. I think we watched a movie. We watched Nope and that was really good. I really loved that film. It was so different. And I love all of his movies because they remind me of old school thrillers and horrors where it's not about gore and just kind of murder and scary stuff for the sake of being scary. He puts together such great movies with such great storylines and they're so spooky and so scary and they're a bit sci-fi. I just really loved Nope. If you're someone who loves a thriller and loves a horror that isn't like gory and just people being, you know, torn apart, it's actually like a really great film. Like it's really interesting and bizarre. And I loved every second of it. And then on Sunday, we went to see my niece. We were gonna go out, like I said, but she was under the weather. So we just went around their house, went around to see my sister and my brother-in-law, hung out there for a bit. We went to the gym. Alex came to the gym with me because he has been wanting to for a while, but has found it a little bit like, a bit scary, a bit kind of, you know, there's like a barrier there, like because he doesn't normally go. He's like, I don't know if I want to do it. I'm a bit scared to do it. But he came and he really enjoyed it. And that's really positive. So he's going to come with me, I think, once a week. And yeah, he said it made him feel really good. And then what did we do for the rest of the day? I think we just came home and relaxed again. We watched I think we watched half of The Portable Door, which was really entertaining. That was really funny. Loved that. And then yesterday, I think we chilled out most of the morning. I went to the garden centre, came back and we did loads of gardening. I think Alex might have caught some on camera and we got so much done. We literally have so many vegetables in the garden now. I'm so happy. We have way too much purple sprouting broccoli. And this is one of those things that I just did not register, that when I was planting the seeds, I think because I'm such a newbie to gardening, when I got a packet of seeds, I just assumed this is kind of like how many you should plant. And I planted every single one of every single packet I opened. In hindsight now I realise that's not how it works, that you open a packet and you use however many you want to plant and then you maybe use the rest the next year. But I sometimes am a bit confused why they give you so many seeds, because most people don't have a vegetable garden the size of mine. Like I've got 16 beds and I can't fit. Like the purple sprouting broccoli, we have so much. I'm gonna have to give some away. I think I'm gonna ask the neighbours and my friend as well if he wants them, because there's so much purple sprouting broccoli that I've grown that there's just no space for it. And one of you actually suggested to go and see if there's a local group, which there probably is, that I can post on and say, hey, I've got way too many purple sprouting broccoli seedlings, who wants them? But we've got potatoes, rhubarb, purple sprouting broccoli, Brussels sprouts, normal broccoli, another type of broccoli, cabbage, aubergine, carrots. Have I said carrots? We've got purple carrots, normal carrots. We've got onions, we've got garlic, red onion, strawberries, pak choi, spinach. There's so much in the garden, and it's mainly, oh, sugar snap peas. And it makes me so excited. I do need to figure out the slugs, because the slugs are already getting to them. I've managed to tent peg the covers better, and I asked on Instagram, and lots of you suggested to plant some nasturtiums and plant some flowers. So when I get back this weekend, I've got loads of seeds for flowers. They're cut flowers, so I don't know if that helps. But I'm going to plant the flowers I've got, and I'm also going to go buy some nasturtiums from the garden centre and plant those like in amongst. Maybe because I've left them quite a lot of space, so I might plant them in amongst, because that would probably help. I think things like Brussels sprouts and broccoli advised to plant with lots of space, because I think they block out a lot of light when they get big. But I think that I can plant like maybe nasturtiums and marigolds. Apparently they help with slugs in between, and hopefully that will help. But the covers are, I think, working. Here's a photo this morning when I went out. The slug had clearly been going on top and couldn't get in. So fingers crossed. Oh, I really am annoyed that I've got a cold. It's so annoying. I need a tissue, 1 second. It was a lovely afternoon gardening. Alex mowed the lawn. He needs to do more today. And yeah, when we get home, I hope that this coming bank holiday weekend, we will get everything planted out. So then it will be a matter of just looking after the garden, maintaining, and maybe midsummer, late summer, we can plant other things, like, I guess, in a month or so I can plant like squash and stuff, I don't know, courgettes. And then we can start, you know, doing other things in the garden, like we want to work on the flower beds and doing it in how we want it to be, how I want it to look really, because the patio is going to get sorted. But let me make some lunch. Who knows what it's going to be, but I'll show you what I end up making. There's my very random mishmash of ingredients that were in the fridge, on top of a couple of pieces of toast with pesto on, and I've topped it with some seeds and nutritional yeast. Can you see that? Looks delightful. So I'm going to dig into this and then get my suitcase in the car ready to go. Hey Bobby, look how exciting, our wisteria is about to pop. It's not ideal because we're going to be repointing the house, and we're now a bit confused about what we're going to do when this completely bursts, because it lasts all summer and I'm not sure they're going to be able to do it beneath the wisteria, but there's lots of buds coming through and that's going to be bright purple soon. Let's go down to the bottom. Can you believe like how these just pop up even though he's just mowed? It looks quite a lot different down here. I have to try and contain my animal. Bobby, this way. So, let me show you what we've got going on. This is the first bed that I planted. I need to put some little signs up. But in here we have carrots, onions, and that's it in this one. So you can see the onions are all popping up, which is lovely. And then the carrots, I'm unsure. I think they're a tiny, tiny little seedlings, but I'm also worried that I've been pulling them out and they were carrots and I've just pulled them out because there are loads of weeds, but I'm hoping that's a little seedling for carrots. We'll see. In here, this is a different compost. Not as big of a fan of this compost just because I feel like it's quite dry, but maybe that's a good thing to keep it in, because actually if you look, the onions are growing much bigger here than they are over there, so maybe this compost is working. But yeah, we've got more onions here. And then we have a row of cabbage, and I think that's here because it's kind of quite evenly spaced. Some of them haven't come through. And then the one at the bottom is, I think it's just potatoes, but I'm not sure. I think it's potatoes. Yes, it is. I think I found these somewhere else and I just replanted them in a neat line. Here we've got broccoli and lettuce. We've covered them all up because slugs were getting in. You can see how much they've been eaten already, which is quite sad, but we're hoping that now they're properly covered, because they were covered with these, but there was like gaps, I think, for the slugs to get into. So hopefully they're now properly covered, so they will be protected, but you can see how much of a nibble they've been having. Over here we've got broccoli and lettuce again. So the same. We bought this lettuce from the garden centre, already like that. And then the broccoli I grew myself. We bought these from the garden centre too. I don't love the way they look, but I kind of had to just say to myself, I'm new to this, and I'm just going to get something that's affordable and easy, and over time I can research what the best option is for cover for seedlings and stuff. So let me know if you have any great recommendations. This one is just potatoes, and this is like leftover from, like, I think previous people who've lived at this house. This bed was filled with potatoes, so I just thought I'm not going to dig them up and restart, so we'll see how that goes. Bobby, come here. This one is, I think this is Brussels sprouts and lettuce. There had to be big gaps between the Brussels sprouts, but you can see, look how much they've been nibbled. I'm hoping that that's fine, it won't cause any problems, but you can see. And I put them with lettuce because lots of websites said that lettuce was good to plant with like brassicas, like Brussels sprouts or broccoli. And then I got these obelisks from the garden centre the other day, and I love the way they look. I just feel like it makes the garden look amazing. So we've got carrots, sugar snap peas and spinach. So I just dug like a trench around the obelisks and put sugar snap peas in there, and I've done a couple lines of carrots and spinach around them because they don't need much like light or space, so they'll fit in. And then in here we have more Brussels sprouts, and then I think lines of carrots and spinach again. I'm a bit worried about this netting just because it looks like it's kind of crushing that a little bit, and I'm a bit concerned. But this was the one that I could see the slug lines on, and there's no nibbles in the plants, so I'm hoping it's okay. Yeah, I feel like I need to turn him. It's hard to get my hands under there. I'll do that in a second. And then we've got these remaining beds. We've got 6 beds. This is a rhubarb, which I've shown you, that was already here. We need to harvest some actually because it's probably ready to be eaten. I absolutely love the way the rhubarb looks, but we've got 4 empty beds, and I think I was originally just going to put the flowers down the bottom, but I think flowers are helpful for vegetables, so I think in the future I would actually interplant flowers throughout, so like do some flowers, some vegetables, rather than them all at the bottom. But I cleaned these beds out the other day, so I think we're going to put some flowers in here. I've been growing cosmos, they really need to come out. I've bought loads of flowers, but I'm not too worried now that this is all planted. I need to get a couple more obelisks maybe for some more peas. We've got quite a few seed packets, but even this is like a huge space, so I think this is just gonna be filled. I might not be so generous with the spacing as I have been in the other beds, and just fill them. And then this is all the purple sprouting broccoli that I have left over, and also even more Brussels sprouts, so you can see what I mean. And these aren't just individual, there's 4 in each, so there's so many. Major regret. But I love the way it looks down here. We've managed to trim all the stuff down the bottom. One day hopefully that will house a greenhouse, and there's a big pile of garden waste we need to get rid of. And I think this summer we're actually going to fix this fruit cage because it's filled with raspberries and everything, so I think we need to use some spare wood, which we've actually got up there from the building works, to fix this fruit cage up and make it way nicer, and maybe trim this apple tree a little bit so it's not hanging over. But we're hoping to have a conversation with like a landscaping company. We've spoken to them already and they're coming back, talk about what we want to do in the future down here. And at the top I want to get like designs drawn, just so that I know what our plan is, and then we can like schedule it and start some stuff ourselves. Because if we know what we're doing next year, the year after, etc., we know that things are happening down here, we can start working on some flower beds and we can start fixing things, and it will be a nice projection to thinking what it's all going to look like in the future. So yeah, but it's been very lovely doing the garden, and I'm so excited to make recipes from all the vegetables that we've grown. But just seeing this makes me very happy. Come on, Roxy, let's go. Come on, inside. Also look at the apple trees, they're all blooming and they look amazing. And these roses, actually that's something to do this next weekend, is to attach that rose over the trellis, because we cut all these back. Oh wow, look, that apple tree's coming out too. The trellis broke in the storms. This is probably the next job actually, once the vegetable garden is fully planted. Yeah, we cut all these roses back and planted them all here. They were all in front of the house. There's still one there, but we cut them all back and they're all thriving now. They were all diseased before and they're all thriving. Like this one was on our patio that we used to have up here, and we moved it and we were so worried that it would die, and it's literally so happy. It's such a beautiful rose, and I think this will look way nicer here with roses because it's like a trellis, so it's like see-through, and this can grow over the top. And we've got the clematis there, but up here against the wall it was quite visible that there was like half the year there was nothing there. So I think it will be much better if we have like lavender and grasses and things that will be there all year round. Right now it's just filled with weeds and that horrible Cornish lily grass or whatever. Look at all the grass coming through here as well. Goodness me. Good morning from... Ooh! That went everywhere. From London. I completely forgot to vlog my journey or anything yesterday. Just woken up. I feel quite rough, but also I feel like the signs of my illness are positive. because apart from being very puffy, which I feel like that was the case when I came here last week, which I addressed, I swear. I haven't woken up with a headache, and I haven't woken up with a sore throat. Yesterday I did, and I don't know, I've had enough colds in my lifetime, I feel like, to understand how it works. I'm not saying I'm going to get over a cold in one day. That's optimistic of me, Maddie. But I'm hoping it doesn't take like hold of me, is what I mean. And I don't know, I feel like colds, they travel, don't they? So you first sort of feel them like deep in your sinuses, like in your head. So you get like a headache and it's like in all, you feel all blocked up in here. And now I feel like it's coming forwards, which I feel like is a good sign, because that feels like it's coming out. Anyway, my nose is quite sore from blowing it so much yesterday with the loo roll from the train, because I forgot to buy tissues, so that's not ideal. But it's my first day back in London, staying in the exact same hotel, so that's why the room looks exactly the same. Did I even say where I was staying? It's the Bermondsey Square Hotel. It's an area of London I've never stayed, and it's a bit awkward, to be honest with you, because there's no tube. So I'm gonna have to taxi it everywhere. I think you can get a bus and then a tube. But last week, to be honest with you, I was too nervous being alone to do that. But Alex will be joining me tomorrow. So when he's here, we probably can do that together. Depending on how much time I have, it is 7:30. I may walk today to the studio because it takes about 40 minutes to walk there. And I feel like it's a lovely sunny day. We don't have to be there at like 9 AM on the dot because everyone takes a bit of time to, you know, set everything up. I think I'm just going to get myself ready, have a bit of breakfast downstairs, though the vegan options at this hotel are slim to none. I will probably have some fruit. I think last time they did offer me like some, because they felt bad. They were actually really lovely here. They were like, oh, do you need any like cooked breakfast, because there's not that much. So they said, do you want some like mushrooms, some tomatoes? So I don't really feel like that, you know. Like I just want some avocado on toast or something. They don't have butter, and if they had butter I could have like Marmite on toast, but hey ho. Gosh, I really look very puffy. You can tell I'm ill. I am nearly done with my book. I haven't been updating you on my reading challenge, if any of you are interested, because I've gone through a phase of not reading as much, and that's fine. Mainly because of this project I'm doing. I feel like any downtime I have, I am reading. I'm definitely still reading. I'm a bit being harsh on myself. I've read like a few books in the last month or two. I've read maybe, I've just not been reading one a week, which is kind of what the challenge requires. I've been reading more like 1 to 2 a month, so it's not quite as many as I need, but I'm gonna be going on holiday, and it is the summer, so I fully intend this summer to be outside reading my book a lot of the time so I can catch up. But I'm nearly done with Ghosts. I literally read, I feel like a couple hundred pages yesterday on the train. I really got fully immersed into it because I was only at the start and I'm nearly now at the end. It's so great. I love Dolly Alderton. I love her writing. I was trying to explain to Alex the book. I think it's definitely a book for women because it's just so from the point of view of a woman, and the experiences that we go through. Also, especially if you're a millennial. Though I say that, like, I feel like you could definitely relate if you're not, if you're older. But I just feel like a lot of, because I think she's maybe 35, she references a lot of things, lots of, you know, cultural references that just make me laugh so much. And it's just hilariously written. She's so funny, and also she writes so beautifully. I was reading something else, Alex was like, how can somebody sum up an experience or like a moment or a part of relationships that I've never even thought about before in such a concise and beautiful way without it being, you know, pretentious or fluffy writing. I just think she's an incredibly talented writer, and I've loved both of her books. That's why I've read 2 books in the first start of the year of hers. I don't think she has any other books, as far as I'm aware. If she does, I will be getting them. I've just realised I've done all my like skin makeup without putting any foundation on. I definitely need foundation today. I'll just do it in my T-zone. I'm not going to share all the products I'm using because I think I did that last week. And I also finished Poldark, which was incredible. Very slow, which is kind of nice. I was saying to Alex as well, I love to give him my reviews of my books. I was saying to him that it's very lovely to read a variety of books, from, you know, newer books to older books, because they're written so differently and it gives you a different pace when you're doing like a bit of a reading challenge. Poldark is very slow. It's so beautifully written. A few like uncomfortable moments because I think it was written in the 40s, so some of the kind of references to their relationship as a man and a woman, and kind of like, I don't know, casual nature of the way he references, like, I don't know, boxing her ears, or I don't know, it's a bit, I think I'm imagining the point was to sort of talk and discuss that back in the day men were much more, I don't know, it was much more acceptable for men to treat women like that. That's the only thing I didn't like. Other than that, such an incredibly beautiful book, and I'm very excited to read the other ones. I started watching the series again and realised that I thought it would be like a whole season on book 1, but it's only maybe like 4 episodes, because I got to 4 episodes and I was like, hold on, this is not in the book. And I think that's because book 1 is so slow, so they probably pushed things together a little bit. So I think maybe one of my next books will be this second one, which is called Demelza. And then I'm also listening to the Amber Spyglass, so the last of his Dark Materials. Nearly done with that. I'm really not enjoying it as much as the other ones. I don't know if it's because I'm listening to it very disjointedly. Sorry, I'm going to do some eyeliner. Yeah, because I'm listening to it separated, I'm not getting into it, but it's a lot of like war and fighting, and I guess it's a bit much when you're always listening to an audiobook. So yeah, I don't know, every time I turn it on it's like, he went over there and she ran away and this other person. That is the worst rendition of what it actually is like. Alex is going to add some text on the screen, probably. It's a bit much. I put it on whilst I was gardening the other day and I had to turn it off because I was like, why are they all fighting and shouting? And I don't know, I guess it's the conclusion of the 3 books. There's going to be all that kind of thing, but I'm not loving it as much. But I want to finish it because I want to know what happens. And then I'm midway through lots of other books that I've started and stopped. So The Book Thief, which I started I think on my honeymoon or when we were in France last year, and I only read, I don't know, maybe like 50 pages of, so I want to read the rest of that. And then School of Life and The Court of Mist and Fury. So I will either go back to those books or totally find a new one. Sorry, I just did my eyeliner because I don't know why, but I've decided to do eyeliner today, and I'm now regretting it because I feel like I've got a lot of makeup on. Oh well. My TikTok is covered in stuff from the Met Gala, and I'm so conflicted because as much as I love seeing what celebrities are wearing, because it's a bit of a pantomime, it's a bit of a show, I also find it very conflicting because I don't understand how we're in 2023 and people will get cancelled online for some random shit they said on Twitter when they were 13 years old. I don't know, maybe they grew up with a working class background and that's what their friends used to say. But a man like Karl Lagerfeld can say, you know, sexist, bigoted things and have an entire event that celebrates him. I just don't get it. Don't really get it. Like literally, it's like the most popular event of the entire year and all these celebrities are there wearing outfits inspired by him as a person. And I get it, people revere fashion and people revere fashion designers and art. I understand that. But is it not a bit weird? Like, should it not just be that we just celebrate someone else? I don't know. He's also said horrible things about like women and their weight and their size, and I don't get it. It's the same as like, is it Dolce & Gabbana who have done awful things and yet they still get so celebrated? What do you think? Do you think that it should be separate? But I find it a very weird contradiction because I feel like the same people who are like online ready to cancel anyone who is like, I don't know, slightly in the public eye for anything that could be perceived as offensive are probably scrolling their phones, looking at TikTok, loving everything from the Met. I don't know, what do you think? This is a pop culture thing, I don't really talk about this stuff on my channel, but it was on my mind this morning. And Jamila Jamil, as I was looking at all this stuff, she posted about it and I love her and I was like, thank you, because it was the first thing I'd seen online of someone sort of critiquing it. It's a weird week, and also we've got the coronation this week and I know probably lots of you are royalists, so I won't really talk about it, but it's a bit strange, the coronation. From a millennial point of view, I get it if you're from a different generation because it's a different experience for you. But for me, I just don't get it. I think it's crazy considering the cost of living that's happening right now and everything that people are going through. The UK is in a sticky situation for sure. Anyway, let me know your thoughts if you want to share. I'm going to finish my makeup off and get out in the sunshine because it's a beautiful day outside today. Let's try and show you my outfit. So, excuse the lighting if it's not great. My hair isn't great, I couldn't be bothered to wash it, I felt too tired and it's a bit greasy. And when I washed it, I didn't style it, so I feel like my hair looks bad, but whatever. I've got this jacket from a charity shop. It's pure new wool, St. Michael. I think that's like the old Marks and Spencer brand. But it's such a nice quality blazer for, I think it was £3 or something. And weirdly actually on TikTok, a video popped up that was talking about how to tell an expensive blazer from a cheap blazer. It's so true, you can really tell by like the way that this fits. Like on my shoulders, it just is the exact size. I guess I got lucky, but it's the exact right size on my shoulders. Even though it feels kind of oversized, the length of it I feel like makes it look a bit more expensive because it's quite long, so it's like a long line. The lapels, the fact that everything sits down nicely, the pockets are real pockets and they've got like a nice straight line, and the buttons are also like slightly different, so it's just a very nicely made and you can't like see the lining. You know when you get those really cheap blazers where the lining is really visible? I used to have one at university, I think it was from New Look, that I used to always wear, and the lining would always be visible. With this you can't, there's no way that you would see the lining. So every time I wear this and put this on, I love that it sort of cinches in a little bit at the waist. I love it. Then I've got this t-shirt that I think is from Organic Basics. I've had it for years, and I haven't worn it in like an outfit for a while. I usually wear it to the gym, but I saw this photo on Pinterest and I've been using Pinterest a lot more for style help recently because I realised I wasn't wearing a lot of my wardrobe. And I've mentioned to you that I want to get more into dressing, you know, nicely and wearing clothes that I enjoy. And this was like an outfit that I saw on there essentially. I just copied it. These trousers are from Wild Pony in Falmouth. They're vintage and I absolutely love them. They're kind of like jeans, but they're not jeans, they're just cotton. They're so high-waisted. I should have brought a belt though. And then you can't see, but I've got my Birkenstocks on. Bit worried about whether these don't go and whether I'm going to regret this because it's going to be cold. And then I've got my Apple Watch on. And then this necklace, my mum gave this to me because I said to her, do you have any silver jewellery? Because I realised all my jewellery is gold, and whilst all this colour theory thing is becoming trendy, I realised maybe I'm actually a winter and maybe silver jewellery is a way to bring that out. I love gold jewellery still as well, but I've got this lovely snake chain that she just had. How great is that? And then my daisy jewellery earrings, one's a little crescent moon and one's a full moon, which I love. And that's my outfit, so I'm gonna take my bag. I think I'm gonna try and cycle half of the way and then walk the rest, because I've now figured out where the bike, the Santander bike, like slot is to put the bike, because last time I kind of got there and I was like, shit, where do I put the bike? So I think I figured that out, and that'll make it a little bit quicker. And I've got so much stuff, because I need my laptop, charger, makeup, and then some extra clothes. I think if I walk with this for 40 minutes I'll get tired. So I think I'm going to try and cycle half the way, because you can put, although can I do that? Because I stupidly didn't bring my backpack. So I can't even put, this won't fit, because there's only so much space in the front bit to put all your shit. I keep on saying shit, sorry. Yeah, there's not that much space, so last time I wore a backpack with my spare clothes. We'll see how I go. Good morning everyone. I don't even know if you can see me. I've just got ready, I've air wrapped my hair and it actually worked. We'll see if it stays like this, but something I always used to struggle with this was with the front bits, and I used this attachment for the front bits because I saw a girl on TikTok do it where she air wrapped her whole head with the rollers, and then with her front pieces she used this, and that was always my struggle, that the front looked funny. So top tip, this is my outfit for today. I don't know why in London I'm deciding to show you my outfits. Maybe this can be a regular thing if you enjoy it. Can't see my feet, but I've got my Doc Martens on. These are the vegan ones. And then this skirt is from Nobody's Child. I got this for my friend's hen do, and I've been meaning to wear it like this, but in Cornwall it never feels like, whoa, it's so dark, why has it gone dark? Yeah, in Cornwall it never really feels like a thing, because why would I wear a slinky skirt? But in London I can wear a slinky skirt. And then I've got this jumper on that I got in a charity shop. It's like a nice stripy one. And then this same jacket from a charity shop. So lots of charity shop items today. And I've been wearing my Canusa bag non-stop since I bought it, which I kind of now, is it silly to get the same bag again in a different colour? Like I really want this in the brown. But then is it like boring? Should I get a totally different bag altogether? Who knows? But I'm tempted because it is so practical and it carries so much stuff. And then I've got my Nord Green watch on, and this jewellery is Edge of Ember, and then this one is from Etsy. It's a little flower one that people sometimes ask me about. And then my earrings are Astrid and Mew. My friend got me these. I think they're Astrid and Mew. So let's head out. Alex is coming up today, so I'm going to meet him later for dinner with so I'm going to meet him later for dinner. I can't speak this morning. So I'm going to meet Alex later for dinner with his dad and his brother. I think I suggested going to Sticks and Sushi, but I don't know, he's picked somewhere, so we'll see where we go. And then tomorrow it's the last day, and then we're moving hotels. We've actually booked a really cool hotel, so I'll show you that when we go there. It looks really interesting. It's so full of hairspray, and don't know when you use a Dyson Airwrap, if you put any sort of product in your hair, wow, and I can't open a window. It's like suffocating. We're staying on Friday night just to celebrate, and then we're going home on Saturday. First thing, because it's the coronation, and where we're staying is like right next to Paddington, so that we don't have to we don't have to worry about getting through town or anything. We can just walk to the station in the morning. So I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully we can try and book a show. We'll see, because I think our reservation for Mildred's, we're going to Mildred's tomorrow, is like 6:45, so whether we have time, I'll talk to him about it. I was gonna use this tote bag, but it looks really grubby. I don't know, we'll see. I'll shove it in my bag. That looks so good. Hello everyone. I don't remember the last time I vlogged.
What did you do?
I did nothing. I actually can't quite believe this happened, because I feel like loads of my vlogs recently have been me saying something crazy, that not crazy, but like, you know, you had the car accident and all these weird things that have happened. My phone just got stolen. I was on the street waiting for an Uber holding my phone, and a guy cycled past me, grabbed the phone and cycled off. I ran after him shouting, "He's stolen my phone." I was swearing, shouting, stop him, he's got my phone, you're a thief." I swear I said that. I was like, "You're a thief!"
Stop thief!
No, I literally did, because your brain goes blank, and I was like, I don't know what to say. It's like I was frantically trying to think of what to say. I was like, "Stop, you're a thief! Stop, he's a thief!
Stop
He's got my
thieving."
phone!" Loads of people were actually very helpful, and there was like 4 or 5 men who ran and tried to catch up with him. Someone on a bike went off, as a motorbike went after him, and then one guy actually tackled another guy thinking that he was the guy who'd stolen the phone, and I was like, "No, it's not him." And that kind of distracted me a bit, because then I didn't carry on running, and then I kind of was a bit like, I wasn't really running because I was worried that if I didn't want to catch up to him, kind of. I kind of wanted to follow him so I knew where he was, but I didn't necessarily want to catch up to him because I was worried if he had a weapon or something. But I've never had anything like that happen before, and I suppose it happens a lot. And Charlie, my sister, said that she had her phone swiped, where was it? In Kentish Town?
Yeah.
But it was from her back pocket, and she didn't see him, or didn't see it happen. So I suppose it was a bit dramatic, like it happening right in front of your face, and you feel flustered because you don't know what to do. And then we didn't ring the police immediately, because I and Alex both, I said to him, "Ring the police," and Alex said, "Oh no, not about this, I don't think you should ring them about this. Is there another number?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, wait." And we didn't ring the police for maybe 10-15 minutes, because
Well, it's hard because I'm running, I've got a suitcase, I'm sprinting
they
after.
can't see you.
Well, they don't need to see me.
Yeah, they do.
I was running after with the suitcase, backpack, bags.
Yeah, we had all our stuff.
We're trying to we're like, "Oh, we can go on," you know, someone said, "Oh, you can track them and find your phone." It's like, how do I do that? Like, I don't know.
Because your brain's running a million times
it's
miles
like,
an hour.
what's the non-emergency police number?
Yeah, and then I said this around somebody else, and they said, no, ring the police. This is what you ring the police for. And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then when they got there, they were really nice, and I said that to them. I said, "Oh, we didn't ring you before because we didn't know whether this was something that we'd ring the police about." And they were like, "Yeah, someone's stolen your property. That's literally why you would ring the police." And I guess it's a funny thing that maybe it's because it's the coronation, and I was thinking, no, the police are going to be busy, I shouldn't be wasting the time. But if you are ever in a situation like this and you have that thought, maybe I'm the only one who would have that thought, but I think because you had the same thought.
What?
About not ringing them.
Well,
I feel like it must be a common thing.
No, I thought, what are they going to do? They have
well, no, I thought I don't want to waste their
chance.
time.
No chance they're going to find this guy. They're not going to be able to.
But they did. They saw him.
The phone's gone. What?
They saw someone of his description. I'll let you tell the full story. We didn't ring them, so if you ever have something stolen, this obviously probably sounds really stupid and people probably make fun of me for this, but if you have something stolen, ring the police. Because I think if we'd rung them immediately, there would have been a higher likelihood that we would have found him, because you can track your phone. So I opened my laptop, tracked him on Find My iPhone, and I could see where he was going. And for, maybe about half an hour, we could, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I don't know. For a time, we could track him. And then he reached a shopping centre area, and it stopped tracking him. And I think that's probably when apparently they do it very quickly, where they sell the phone, they swipe the phone, and that's probably when that happened. Maybe if I'd contacted the police earlier, they could have because when they got there, they basically just radioed through to another police officer in that area and were looking for him. And they said they saw someone of his description, but then they lost sight of him because he was on a bike. And it's also, you don't know, it could have been anybody, it could have been somebody else who just fit the description. But I think he was literally a teenager, and there's one of the women who saw it happen. She was really friendly, and she was talking to me about it, and she was like, it happens all the time in this area. She said, I grew up here, and she said what happens sometimes is older people recruit younger kids to do the job, and then they sort of pass it on. So he probably, you know, it makes me sad, because I think in my head I'm almost not mad at the guy for doing it, because it's not his fault.
As far as you know.
No, but you know, in terms of like, I think of it like he's obviously stealing an iPhone because he doesn't have enough money, or he's coming from a background of not having. This is true. Maybe this is how I think of these things. Why would you steal an iPhone other than to get money? Because that's what you're told to do. You know, he's got he was a teenager for sure. He's got some adult in his life who's told him that stealing is something that you can do to earn money, and you have to be in a certain situation to be brought up in that environment. Well,
yeah, it could be a bad environment, or they could just be a thief.
Yeah, but you're a thief for a reason. People aren't thieves for the fun of it.
Yeah, but there's also a level of, you know, I'm not gonna say, oh, I forgive you for being a thief. No.
This is two personalities. Who do you agree with? That's the way I think of things. Maybe it's because I was brought up in a Christian home that I don't want to place blame on anyone.
No, I get it, but also at a point you have to say, well, yeah.
No, if you're a thief, you should be, like, you know, arrested for it and told off for it, and it's a wrong thing to do, morally. But I think that people are only in situations like that because of the wider world.
Well, we can assume that, yes.
Yeah.
Without knowing, I'm not going to feel too sympathetic for someone who goes around targeting people and stealing their phones in the same manner around London.
Yeah.
I don't have much sympathy.
I do. I actually do. I don't actually blame him.
Okay.
Because I think he's a kid, and he's probably, well, like I said, I wasn't told by my mum and dad or teachers or friends that here, go, you know, you can get this job by stealing phones and earning money from it. Like, that wouldn't be a thing that I would have been brought up to know. And maybe this is something I shouldn't be discussing on the internet, maybe, but I don't know. I just think if you're in that environment, I suppose it just made me get a bit philosophical, is that the right word?
Sure.
About the situation in the UK, like the coronation and like cost of living crisis and people not being able to pay their electricity bills, the NHS, all of it. And when that happened, I just thought, you know what, I'm not even mad at him, because, like, I don't know, he's probably, him and his family or friends or whatever are struggling in some way that they're being pushed to those extremes. Mm-hmm. That's what I think anyway. And if those things are happening all the time, it's because of the environment that we're in this country, because of the crazy wealth gap. It's a bit mad. If you're not from the UK, I think electricity bills are the highest in the world, aren't they? In England or the UK?
No idea.
I'm pretty sure that was a statistic, either in Europe or the world. It's just, there's a big, horrible situation happening with that kind of thing, and it made me think of that anyway. Maybe it's all the Disney films I've watched.
I was saying, is it because you watched Aladdin?
Yes, it is. It's the Disney films that said people are stealing things because they're in that situation.
Street rat.
I've not had the reason to steal anything because I didn't have that experience where you had to. Mm-hmm. You know? I'm annoyed. It's really frustrating. Luckily my phone's insured. I've changed all my passwords. I've erased the device. I've, you know, done all the things you're supposed to do. I've registered it on this website called like Immobilize Your Phone or something. The police told me to do that, so you can, like, add the code of your phone if it gets tracked. I don't know, probably literally doesn't do anything. And they also said you can change your passwords and stuff for your own peace of mind, but there's no way they can get into the phone without Face ID anyway. And they said they've never experienced anyone having their money or data stolen when having their phone stolen in that way, because the phone's worth more money with it being blank. Yeah, apparently they immediately get it into a different country where they can open it and erase it. That freaks me out that they can open my phone and see all my shit on it.
They can't see it.
You're out of frame, no one can see you.
I don't need to be in the frame.
You do.
They just wipe the whole thing. So there's something that you probably can do, but obviously it destroys the whole device, and you have to.
I played the sound a few times. That didn't do anything. Lesson I should have known, and I've heard so many times people say, "Do you never stand on the street with your phone out because people swipe your phone?" The amount of times I've heard that, and I just switched off, and you replay it back, because where I usually wait at the end of the day for my taxi is like in a sort of parking area where you pull in, and we walked out to the street because the first Uber cancelled, so we booked another one, and I was like looking and kind of like went to the street, and the Uber was literally like 300 metres away. Did you cancel it, by the way?
What?
The Uber, did you sort that all out?
Well, they charged us £7.
I was waiting, and it was in that like split second moment of us walking up to the top of the street and stood there for like literally 10 seconds, and it was immediate. Oh yeah, I didn't get to the part of the story. So when the police came, they obviously took all my information, all that sort of stuff, and all the people who helped were there. One of the guys, did I say this? The delivery man, he got on his motorbike and he drove his motorbike to the location that we found on Find My iPhone. Like, that, people are so nice. That's one thing actually, this experience. There were like 3 people being super helpful. The woman was talking to me about the area, she was helping with the police, giving them information. She saw him, so she was describing him. And then these 2 guys were like on the phone to each other, and he was telling him where it was showing up on Find My iPhone, and he was on his bike trying to help find it, like find this guy. He didn't have to do that. I just thought, that's so nice, because it's none of their business, it doesn't affect them in any way. They're also potentially putting themselves in danger following someone who's stolen something. You don't know where he's going. I just thought, I said to them, like, you don't need to do anything, but like, they were like, no, we're gonna go. And they just went. The police then took us in their unmarked police car, which was kind of like a little bit thrilling. Got in the car, they're like, and then we're like zooming through, and went to the area it was to look around. They said because someone had a sighting, another police officer in that area had a sighting of someone who matched the description, and we're trying to find him. So they said just keep an eye out, because they have seen someone of the description in the area. But then they had some radios through for a more serious incident. I think people had been seen with knives. They were like, we need to drop you off somewhere, obviously way more important. That's why I didn't ring them, because I was thinking there's way more important things. But I guess now I realise, having been in the car, that they will answer the most important things, and they will only go and, you know, come to you if there aren't other things happening. Like, if there were other things happening at the time, they would have taken longer to get to us. So they just left us to get a taxi and had to go because there weren't enough people. So hopefully that was resolved easily and quickly. Anyway, it was an incredibly positive 2 weeks. What a experience, what a privilege, and like the loveliest team of people in the world. I miss them. I'm going to be sad because I feel like I've got to know them all, and they're all wonderful, and hopefully we can maybe see each other again and celebrate or do something nice. We were mentioning going out for dinner or something would be lovely, and it's just been very inspiring and insightful and incredibly, yeah, inspiring is the word. I kept on saying this, it's inspiring for me when I go home, and yeah, it's just a really, really positive, lovely experience. So that's what I'm going to focus on. My mum said to me, very wise words, she said, you have a choice in this moment to move on, realise it's not your fault, and not let him take that joy from you today. She said something about along those lines. It's your choice, essentially, not to take this situation and get you down right now. It's just a phone, there's nothing I can do, and I think it right now is not the time to get like really sad and stressed about it, because there's nothing I can do, and that's just going to make this day horrible when it should be a nice day. And I actually think it's really not the phone that makes me feel funny. It feels a bit violating. It's the very like physical experience of that, you know, like having someone swipe something out of your hand in broad daylight, and having to, I shouldn't have done this, you should not do this. I ran after him in the street, and having to, like, you know, shouting at someone, it's a bit like, that is such a negative experience. It's not a nice thing. That's probably more what's bothering me, and like the violation of, I know the police reassured me and said they can't take your stuff, but like the sort of worry that they could have access to your stuff. It's your whole life on your phone. So it feels a little bit like, but what if they can? What if they can, like, not that there's anything on there. I suppose it's the, like, the principle, that's it. The principle of it is like a bit violating. If you've ever had anything stolen, maybe you understand. And maybe it's also the closeness with the car accident. It's like lots of like incidences with the police. It's a bit like, why am I in a situation where I'm talking to a police officer again?
What's the common link? It's Maddie.
I thought that. I said, this stuff only happens to me. It doesn't happen to you. It doesn't happen to... Actually, no, Charlie said she got her phone stolen.
It's your family. There's something wrong with your family. I've never had my phone stolen or lost. No, I'm joking, I have.
Have you? Have you had it stolen?
Well, I left, you know, we were talking about it last night, when I went to Oktoberfest and I left it in the taxi.
That was lost. I've lost many a phone.
Yeah, I've never had it stolen. So having it stolen, you're right, it's something a bit like someone's come in and invaded your... Even if, like, when you take a step back, it's like, oh, it's a phone.
Yeah, literally don't care. It's a phone.
Well,
you've got insurance.
If it wasn't insured, I'd care quite a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you don't have insurance, that'd be horrible because it's really expensive. But it's insured, so it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it's literally got nothing. It's nothing to do with... That's what I was trying to say, because I don't want it to come across this way. It's got nothing to do with the material item. It's got everything to do with the violation and the privacy and the... You've taken something that's mine and it has my whole life on it, and I'm going home to Cornwall, and it's like also just the incident ruining such a, for me and for you and for all like the team there, it's such a celebratory day and like past couple of weeks. So to leave and be like on such a high and be like, let's go celebrate, what a great time, this was so positive, and then have something so negative happen.
Yeah.
But then I suppose that teaches you a lesson. You've got to always have lessons of that, out of these events. That's life, and life is full of like really lovely, celebratory, happy moments, and it's full of annoying, shitty situations.
And
anyway,
we'll go and have a little wander in the hotel.
I'm going to sign off, and I'll reflect. I'll talk to you more about, I don't know, maybe the next vlog, my experience the last couple of weeks, because I feel like I should talk. Maybe you're not interested, but...
It's been like 2 bank holidays. We've been up and down from London. And now this, and
it makes me great.
It's always on a bank holiday that something happens that's going to
take
more time.
Yeah. Oh my god! Last time we had the car accident, it was a bank holiday.
22 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't need to edit it. I'm so lucky in so many ways. I really can't even sit here and worry about it any longer. Not worth it. Not that I'm of the mind of shoving things under a rug, because I think that's actually really unhealthy. That's one thing I've definitely learned in therapy, that you should experience your feelings and don't just push them out, because that's not that, they'll just come up later. So I should feel stressed, and how I'm feeling is how I'm feeling. That's not something to be invalidated if it feels violating and stressful and annoying, but you don't want to like mull on those things and make them worse, you know, and ruminate is what I mean. It can be something that maybe I put in a box today and I maybe open that when I'm home, because today is a nice day and we're not letting him take that from us. So, goodbye everybody. It's such a minute little microscopic event in a lovely time last couple of weeks. Makes me very grateful. I was going to say that actually. It gives me a lot of gratitude to live in Cornwall, because those sorts of things don't happen in Cornwall. Sorry if it was a bit of a Debbie Downer. No more Debbie Downer videos. Not that I like the phrase Debbie Downer. That's such a horrible phrase, isn't it? Sorry Debbie. My mum's called Debbie.
Think of all the women called Karen.
I know, what a nightmare if you're called Karen, or if you're Debbie Downer and Karen, and isn't there one like Susie or something? There's one that begins with S, or it's like, oh, you're such a silly sausage. No, you're such a something. They'll know, you'll know. Write it in the comments.
Must be loads.
No, you're such a something Sally. Anyway, one of you will know what I mean. See you in the next video.
God save the king.
Oh God. I'm really sorry if some of you are royalists. I'm sorry. I'm not. I apologise.
That's why there's not a video going up this Monday. Just gone. This will be up on Thursday.
Well, we're taking the bank holiday.
Bank holiday.
One positive thing.
Yeah. You know what I used to like as a kid?
What?
Coronation chicken sandwich.
Think
about that.
No, I didn't. I hated that.
Oh, I loved it.
Gross. Anyway, love you all.
Bye.
Goodbye. We're going to go have a nice drink.